Phelps, Bukowski, you have a new case. 2 women, possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath a Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
See you later, fellers. Try not to work too hard. Well, look at you bantering with the boys. Brings a tear to my eye watching my caterpillar grow wings. I'm just trying to fit in. Educated, hardworking, straight as an arrow. I hate to break it to you, Cole, but you'll never fit in at Central.
All units in the vicinity in car 11K, 11 King, a 415 in progress at apartment 803, Wilson's Apartment Hotel, 1220 West 7th Street, Westlake Park. 11K code 3, all other units code 2. KGPL clear. Car 11K, 11 King, we have no other units available. What is your ETA to the 415 in progress at 1220 West 7th Street? Repeat, 1220 West 7th Street, Wilson's Apartment Hotel. 11K handle code 3. Any other units that can assist identify.
There's the set. Hollywood's own little piece of Babylon.
Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight. What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
Driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, we'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passenger's a Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to Central Receiving. If you want to take a look around, I can stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough. What more can I tell you, detective? Try the coroner. It's down the hill. I got nothing else. You'll find out more from the coroner.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
It looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly injured.
Must have been unconscious. Being relaxed tends to lessen the soft tissue damage.
They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
She's a long way from home.
If you don't mind, I'm about done here, Detective, and I have other cases to deal with. I suggest you interview the young lady when she's conscious.
Her face looks familiar.
Well, that's June Ballard, Tarzan's sister, Beast of the Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the two of them still have juice.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of Beast of...
You? I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. Who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
Who drugged you, Mrs. McAfee?
I told you to call me June. You're making me feel like an old lady. And don't bother your handsome head about this. My husband will settle the score with Mark Bishop.
I don't believe you, Mrs. McAfee. The story's too far-fetched. I think you were drunk and lost control of the car.
Well, I suggest you get the results of a blood test first before you go shooting off your mouth. Unless you have some other proof. Well, I could drink you under the table any day of the week and still be fine to drive home. Be careful. I'm starting to dislike you.
It's a serious offense to withhold information from the police during a criminal investigation, madam.
You really are cute, detective. But a little too naive for my taste.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
And she's your protege?
You could say that. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
How old is Jessica, Mrs. Ballard?
I couldn't say how old Jessica is. Old enough, sweetheart, as the saying goes.
I think you're lying, Mrs. McAfee. I think something happened to Jessica yesterday before the crash.
I'm offended, sunshine. Do you have any proof? I didn't think so. You should be more careful. Behind the glitz, this can be a very rough old town.
Miss Hamilton's underwear were physically torn from her body.
She wanted to go to a casting. I took her to a casting. Whatever happened after that is between her and Mark Bishop.
We found a shrunken head. It was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
You don't remember where the head came from?
I don't know anything about a head. Why is everybody talking about a goddamn head? Isn't anyone interested in how I am?
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
Mrs. McAfee, you're lying. You're wasting our time. You know what's going on here. You just won't tell us.
You're sweet, but simple too. The burden of proof is with the law. You should run along now. Don't worry yourself. This will all get sorted out. This is the way things get done in Hollywood.
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture. Then he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a deal. I pressed him on it, and this is where I end up.
It's not going to play that way, Mrs. McAfee. We'll take it from there.
Relax, detective. You're not nearly as cute when you're mad.
That's a lie, and you know it. This goes deeper than that.
I'm sorry. Maybe you'd like to go ahead and prove that, honey. I'm in pain here, detective. I nearly died. Now you're throwing these stories around here like they're facts?
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm being taken in?
You could say that.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that you are under the influence of narcotics and that you are withholding information from the police.
My husband is going to want a word with you, Sonny Jim. I'm going to be okay. These guys can take me home after my lawyer and I have talked to the news hounds.
Mrs. McAfee, you are still under the influence of narcotics, and you're likely to go into shock once the drugs wear off.
And I thought you were a heel. It's nice of you to be concerned. Get back here, Flatfoot! I'm the one that's hurt. I'm the one that needs attention. You were giving me a thorough going over. I was just starting to enjoy it. Speak to my attorney. He swats cops like you like flies. Obviously, you're a little green at how things work at the studios. Do you get paid by the hour for doing nothing? I am done with these foolish accusations. Get out of my sight!
Ugh. They told me to wait on the detectives, but I can't hang around forever. Hurry it up, pal. What if someone gets hit by a bus while I'm standing here?
Coroner's at the bottom of the track. Vic is with the ambulance. Officer Gonzalez has a skinny. You spoken to him yet?
If you're looking for the coroner, he's down by the crash site. You see the broad who bombed over the cliff? They say she's a movie star.
I ain't the guy you want to talk to, Detective. Hey, car's at the bottom, broad's at the top. That's all I know.
I don't really know too much, Detective. Maybe ask the coroner. Funny how that thing at the rail yard turned out, don't you think?
Hey! Out of the way, bub! This ain't the red carpet, so get out of my lens.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
KGPL to car 11K, 11 King. The car crash victim has regained consciousness at Central Receiving Hospital.
11K Roger, en route.
Are there any messages for me?
Yes, Detective Phelps. Car crash victim Jessica Hamilton has regained consciousness in Central Receiving Hospital. She's ready to be interviewed.
I need an address on a Mark Bishop.
Just a second. Mark Bishop, movie producer. Address is 2701 Wilshire Boulevard, Westlake Park.
Boys, your victim has come around. She's sitting up in bed next door.
Let's get across the street and see what's going on. We have to pick apart that crash site if we want an idea of what happened. Let's go back. This is a big scene, Phelps. We need to get our bearings. Let's go see the coroner. I'm surprised that Chevy is still in one piece. We better check it over. The surrounding area, too. How does someone manage to tip their ride straight off a cliff? If the driver's in a fit state, we should ask. We should speak to Ballard again. She might not be telling us the whole story.
Ballard is definitely up to something. She seems to have made a remarkably speedy recovery. Get in there and see what she's up to. So what's the story? I'm guessing she didn't stop for light refreshments.
She made a call. Sounds like Mark Bishop has a heap of trouble headed his way. I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel, apartment 803.
Oh, shit. You better step on it.
If he's got any sense, he'll be as far away from home as possible.
If he had any sense, he wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy McAfee's wife in the first place. Or he'd have done the job properly. McAfee will break a fella's legs just for looking at his broad the wrong way.
Well, hopefully the girl can give us some straighter answers than Tarzan's sister did. Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room right behind you, Detective. We have patients to deal with. Do you want to interview the patients or don't you?
Hello, Doctor. I'm Detective Phelps. You're attending to the young lady from the auto accident?
Yes. She's conscious now, but I doubt she'll remember much. She's still feeling some of the after effects.
Jessica was drugged?
She certainly was. Chloral hydrate would be my guess, and there's clear evidence of abuse. She's still a minor, Detective.
Someone planned a double murder to cover up a statutory rape? Swap 7 years for life and gets Guy McAfee on their case? Doesn't make much sense to me.
I guess it depends on what they have to lose.
I'm sorry, Detective, but I have patients to attend to. Please, Detective, I really must get on with my rounds.
Do you know who I am? You can't hold me here. No, I don't need to be manhandled by a doctor. I need my lawyer. Hey, where is the telephone? Do you know who I am?
Hello, Jessica. My name is Cole Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
Legally, you're still a minor, Jessica. We have to inform your parents.
Please don't do that. My daddy will kill me.
Jessica, if you don't want me to call your father, you better tell me what happened.
Please don't call Daddy. Why are you being so horrible to me? Can't you see what I've been through?
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, Detective, why would I lie to you? Can't you just let me rest?
Because you're a runaway, Jessica, and you don't have your parents' permission to be here. Now, do you want to tell me what really happened?
I went with Junie to this strange place. It's difficult to remember. Someone gave me a drink to calm my nerves, and then I felt faint. I think I must have passed out.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
You could have died in the crash, Jessica. Why would someone want to kill you?
Someone wants to kill me? I wouldn't know anything about that. I just went along with Junie. She knows all about the movie business.
You're holding out on me, Jessica.
Please, I want my doctor. I'm not sure I can answer any more questions right now.
Tell the truth, Jessica. Why the big cover-up?
I'm not lying to you. I'm tired, Detective, and this has been all so awful. Please, please, just leave me alone.
We found your underwear in your handbag, Jessica. You need to tell us what happened.
The doctor told me what happened. I didn't want that. I just wanted to be a star, to be in movies. I told Junie what happened, and she told me to toughen up, that was the price of stardom.
Did she now, that cold-hearted bitch?
It's not Junie's fault. It's not my first time. I had a boyfriend back home, but my father found out about him.
Even if you consented, Jessica, you're still underage.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
What do you know about Bishop?
He makes movies. I had to do a screen test. That's when you say some lines in front of a camera with the lights turned on you.
What's the story with Bishop and Mrs. McAfee? Why does he want the two of you dead?
That can't be true. Mr. Bishop seemed very happy today. I mean, yesterday.
And that's why he wedged a shrunken head against the accelerator pedal and punted the two of you over an escarpment?
I overheard Junie speaking to him on the phone a couple of times. Screaming, really. She can be very hard sometimes, Junie. But they seemed okay yesterday, like they worked it out.
You're lying, Jessica. You're a victim of the oldest scam in Hollywood. Don't protect these people.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Bishop makes movies. That's all I know. Please, I don't feel well. Do I have to keep answering questions?
I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything. I had to wear a robe and lay down on a stone. There were lights, a camera. It's not my fault. I'm not a bad girl. Why are you trying to hurt me?
God damn it, tell the truth, Jessica.
I am telling the truth. I don't know where the place is. I barely know this city. I think you should leave now. You're being horrible to me.
Jessica, I really need you to help me here.
I remember the mermaid.
Was the mermaid in the movie too?
No, it was on the front of a building. We pulled up in front of the mermaid.
Someone tried to kill you, Jessica. Do you get it? Forget about being in movies. It's time to act like a grown-up. Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big help. Here's my card. If you think of anything or you need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea if you went back home till you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
You should think about going home, Jessica. You're getting mixed up with people who will treat you like last week's trash.
Are you crazy? I can't go home. I want to be a star.
It's the tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter.
If you have more questions, could you ask them now? All I want to do is sleep. I've told you all I know. I need to sleep now. The doctor said that I have to rest. You're making me uncomfortable. Just standing around here looking at me, not saying anything. No, that's enough. You leave me alone now, or I will scream for the nurse.
You feeling better since this morning, Jessica?
A little. My head still feels swimmy.
Who the hell is that?
Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her. There she goes. Come on. We're here, I guess. Get closer and see what she's up to.
Easy, my love. My man in the bureau has already been in touch. It's being handled.
No! I don't want him taught a lesson. You know what I want. Well, then make someone else do it! You still know people out here, don't you? Then make some calls!
Dearest, in case you'd forgotten, I'm no longer welcome that side of the state line. You really ought to have that bump on your head looked at, dear. It's affecting your mood.
I'm going to be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm... Baby? Mr. Mark Bishop, that son of a bitch, lives in apartment 803. Wilson's Hotel. Sure, I got the film.
What did you make of the kid? You believe her story? I think she was doped out of her tiny mind and given the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
So if Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
Roger, KGPL. 11K en route. I want to make sure that kid is all right. Come on, Phelps. Central Receiving Hospital. I don't like it any more than you do, but we need more from the girl. Back to the hospital. You think she's okay to have visitors? Ask the doc. Kid gloves when you talk to little Jessica, Phelps. But anything she can remember will be useful. Let's get back to the car and follow Ballard and her pet shyster.
Looks like a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
Mrs. Bishop knows more than she's letting on.
She doesn't seem to realize how much trouble her husband is in. The LAPD are the least of their worries right now.
You'd think she'd have gotten the hint after those hatchet men redecorated her apartment.
Maybe she's just loyal.
Or she's in on it. She didn't seem like your average giddy broad with nothing between the ears.
Or she might just be trying to buy enough time for Bishop to put a couple of oceans between him and McAfee.
You the cops? I tried to stop them. It's room 803, left out of the elevator.
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat trick of hysterical female witnesses.
Look, lady, I could pound you or I could pound your husband. Which one is it going to be?
Please, I don't know where he is.
Bullshit. Let her have it, Eddie. Help me out with this asshole, Phelps.
Are you injured, Mrs. Bishop?
I'm all right now. Those horrible, awful men.
Perhaps you should sit down, ma'am.
Yes. Forgive me, officers. I'm very flushed. I'll just sit down for a moment.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am. Take a moment while we look around.
Yes, thank you. Oh, just look at this mess.
Welcome to Wilson's Apartment Hotel. Can I help you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Phelps. We received a call about a domestic disturbance in apartment 803.
Oh, you're the detectives. Listen, Mrs. Bishop's pretty upset. Take the elevator and then left down the corridor. It's the last door on the right. A crime has been committed. Don't just stand there. All I know is all I've told you, Detective.
LAPD, ma'am. Are you in danger?
I'm all right now. You just missed them. Horrible, awful men.
Are you injured, Mrs.
Bishop. Gloria Bishop. Please, come in, officers. I'll just need to sit down for a moment. Forgive me.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am.
Just look at this mess!
We'll take a quick search of the premises, ma'am. You take a moment to gather your thoughts.
I will. Thank you, officer.
Looks like the old movie set downtown. Great Wall of Babylon. A replica of a replica. Your husband was using June Ballard in his new movie?
Hardly. Mark feels that June Ballard has limited range and is over the hill.
The girl is named Jessica Hamilton. She was drugged. You should tell me what you know, Mrs. Bishop.
My husband is no saint, Detective. He's going to have to atone for his own sins.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no.
He had Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
You're lying to cover for your husband. Do you know what you'll get for aiding and abetting?
I've been abused and slapped, and now I'm accused of lying? I would hope you would show a little more respect in the future.
Your husband was at a casting yesterday with a young girl?
Not that I know of. He told me he was looking at locations. The picture's been cast.
You know exactly what happened yesterday, don't you, Mrs. Bishop? You've been through it yourself.
I'm going to call my lawyer. You have a damn cheek accusing me of that.
Jessica remembered a mermaid. The mermaid on the front of the prop store. You better come clean with me.
This is a sick town, Detective. Are you sure you really want to know? The truth is, my husband likes them young.
And you think that's okay?
I was 16 when I first met him. I thought he was a genius, a magician with film. I was 20 before I realized he was just a B-movie hack. But he's nothing compared to some of the monsters at these big studios. My guess is Ballard sacrificed her little friend. Happens to a lot of girls. You should be ashamed of yourself, Detective. I've already been through a lot today without your harassment.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him or McAfee's people do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him, but I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
You are complicit in all of this, Gloria. You know what happens to these poor deluded kids, and you go along with it. I need to find your husband.
Why'd you come to Hollywood, Detective? Handsome young man like you might find a little something in the movies. You've never thought about it?
No, I haven't.
Well, then you must be the only person in this burg who hasn't. We're born into temptation, Detective. It's character that determines what we do about it.
You're lying, Gloria. He knows he has to get out of town, and you're covering for him.
I'm tired of this, and you have nothing to go on. Mark? Leave Los Angeles? Never. They'd have to kill him first. What other city would allow men to behave so abominably and celebrate the fact? He'll talk or buy his way out of this.
I wouldn't bet on it, sister.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
It's a lot of money, Mrs. Bishop. Doesn't it strike you as unusual?
Perhaps. Movies are expensive to make. You'd be surprised what expenses get hidden in the budget and how the money gets moved around.
Your husband looks like he's being blackmailed. They obviously have something on him if he's prepared to kill to cover it up. Why is the payment going to Hopgood and not McAfee?
Lorna works at a check-cashing place in Hollywood. You need to ask Hopgood why he needs that much money in cash.
You're lying, Mrs. Bishop. It's some kind of payoff. You know exactly what the money is for and who it's getting paid to.
Do I? Would you like to prove that, Detective? You're wrong, Detective. My husband is a miscreant, but that doesn't mean he feels shame for what he does. He would never tell me.
Presented to Mark. Who are these men in the picture?
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood, they work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Looks like we found our mermaid. Who are these men in the picture? Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more helpful, Mrs. Bishop.
He's a big boy, Detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
What do you have to do to earn $20,000? Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Do you know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McAfee,
Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business. So you're gonna leave a poor, helpless woman here on her own and at the will of unscrupulous men? I'm grateful for your help, officer, but it's time you went and brought this business with Mark to a close. A girl learns to take knocks in this town, Detective. You go. I'll be fine. Can we get on with this, please? You're as bad as those street thugs and twice as dim. Get out this instant.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, and a movie producer's wife? We're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.
We need an address on the silver screen joint with the mermaid statue. Call it into R&I.
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Gun it! Let's get to the apartment before someone gets hurt. We've got a line on Bishop. I say we head over to his apartment and brace him. See how his story stacks up. I don't think things are under control at Wilson's yet, Phelps. Let's go back. Is the lady all right? Well, don't just stand there. Ask her. Take a look around. You never know what those goons might have left behind. Now, all we need to know is who were those goons and why were they tearing up the floorboards in here? Ask Mrs. Bishop. We need the place from the picture. The prop maker's store with the mermaid out front. Call it in.
Ah! Jungle Drums, 8th and Francisco. Attention, Mark Bishop.
Phelps and Bukowski, LAPD. We're investigating the attempted murder of June Ballard and Jessica Hamilton.
Christ! I'm Marlon Hopgood. How can I help?
You hold castings here?
How'd you hear about that? I got a little soundstage out back.
Lead the way.
So, you coming?
Keep him here, Stefan. I'm going to take a look around.
What's this got to do with me?
Don't try my patience, knucklehead.
You ever do any work for Mark Bishop?
I mainly do work for the studios. RKO, Republic, Warner Brothers. So yeah, when Bishop is doing work for a studio, yes.
When did you last see him?
Now I'm doing work for his next picture. Still pre-production though. Haven't seen him around here in a while.
You and Bishop are close friends, colleagues?
It's business. I normally deal direct with the studio. Have you tried his production office?
He was here yesterday, and something happened that pushed him over the edge. You're holding out on us, Hopgood.
You know, I have very good connections with the Vice Squad.
And well, there's a surprise.
They won't appreciate you coming in here and strong-arming me.
I know you're lying, Hopgood. Bishop was here, and you know exactly what he was doing and what he left lying around afterwards.
You come in here without a warrant, and now you start throwing your weight around?
A 15-year-old girl told me how she was drugged and molested at a casting house. I found the chloral hydrate in your drinks cabinet. You give me something or I will break your fucking jaw, Hopgood. I have a drugged-up 15-year-old girl, and you have chloral hydrate in your drinks cabinet. You give me something or I will break your fucking jaw, Hopgood.
Bishop was here with June Ballard and the girl. A lot of producers and directors use this place. I'm not responsible for what goes on here. You should get your facts straight before you come in here and start shooting off that mouth of yours.
McAfee's men are looking for Bishop. We need to find him first. Any idea where he might have gone to ground?
If he really tried to kill McAfee's wife, my advice to him would be to leave town.
Doping a 15-year-old kid and abusing her in a screen test. What is wrong with these people? So this is where you sprang from. You're delivering props to Jungle Drums on 8th Street?
Bishop is using that old rundown wreck of a set. That place is dangerous. But it might be a good spot to hide.
I'm warning you, Hopgood. If you give him up to McAfee and we find out about it...
Wind it back a notch, tough guy. I'm telling you, I don't know where he is.
You have something on him, and now you're going to rat him out to McAfee's goons.
And how do you figure that, brain boy? I never liked Bishop. He always made out like he was better than everybody else. He was no better than any of the other big shot creeps who came in here.
What's the deal with you and June Ballard?
Look, buddy, I make props. I hardly ever meet the talent unless it's something tailor-made for them, like a sword or something.
What made Bishop change his mind about putting Ballard back into the picture?
A bribe.
What kind of bribe?
Jessica Hamilton.
Ballard was out, then she's in, then Bishop visits this place and goes crazy. You're in it somehow.
These clowns fuck young girls on the couch. The girls think they're going to be stars. They really put their backs into it. It's a price they're willing to pay. None of them will press charges.
You and Ballard are blackmailing Bishop. That's why he cracked.
You got nothing on me. My hands are clean on this. I'm about done with you and your accusations.
Enough. I've been in your peep room, Hopgood. I've seen your smut pictures and the camera setup. You made a movie of Jessica. I found the canister.
The deal is I get to sell the movies to burlesque houses and private collectors. These movie guys love seeing their cocks on screen. But part of the arrangement is I never film their faces. June had me film Bishop, and then she kept the movie for insurance. He went apeshit when he realized his face was front and center.
Who has the film now?
Who else? McAfee.
Ballard had what she wanted. Where does the money come into it?
What money?
So you're working for Guy McAfee now?
I hope not. I already have enough joy working for my current employer.
You and Ballard are running a Badger game on Bishop. How many other people have you run it on?
I don't know what you're talking about. All these creeps want copies of their performances. They all have movie projectors and screening rooms at home so they can beat the meat in private.
Enough of the lies.
I told you I get my cut selling dirty movies.
Your ex was getting 20 large from Bishop.
If I wanted to skim 20 from Bishop, we'd do it through the movie budget. June said she'd sell him the film once the movie had wrapped, but Guy wanted cash. He's in a cash-only business. You think I had a choice in this? Unless you're going to charge him with something, I think we are done.
Turn off the lights, Hopgood.
Why would I want to do that?
Humor him.
One-way mirrors. There's a room on the other side.
Huh. Well. Find a way into that peep den, Phelps. I'll stay here and keep our pervert company.
I wonder if they saw this, how many budding starlets would still get on the bus to come to Hollywood. So what happened to the film of Hamilton's screen test? That's all for now, Hopgood. We're taking you in.
Phelps!
Hopgood is a vice informer?
Yes, he is, Phelps, and a very important one. Look at that mug. Have you been upsetting these two officers, Marlin?
So we just drop it?
You do if you know what's good for you. You need to catch the movie producer before an angry husband does, from what I'm hearing.
I'll be making a full report to the captain, Detective.
You do that, kid. We're all very impressed with you.
Let it slide, Cole. Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry, but I'm really busy with an order for a new movie. I have some friends in the LAPD, so I won't be leaned on. I think your problem is with Bishop. You could hump a few props or sweep the floors if you got nothing better to do. Look, this was fun, but it's time for you to get the hell out of my place.
Silver Screen Props is our next stop. Let's roll. All roads lead to this prop store. We have to check the place out. This is the Hopgood guy we've been hearing about. See what you make of him. Search through all this crazy movie junk. See what turns up. Hit Hopgood with the evidence, Phelps. See if he sings. Why did Bishop want to kill those girls? There must be something more to this place. The room behind the mirror makes our case. We need to find a way in. It can't be that way, Phelps. You couldn't fit a rat through there. The dead-end alley. There's something weird about it. Go check it out.
I don't think they like your little pep talk, Bukowski.
Ah, shit! Get us out of here! They really don't want anybody getting to Bishop before they do. We need to lose those fools, Phelps! Make a move! We're sitting ducks here! Either give me a good shot or get us the hell out of here! Jesus! Bishop started a goddamn war! Get me closer! I can't take them out from here! Too many holes, Phelps! Come on! Lose them or give me a shot! Phelps! Get rid of them! Oh, Christ. And they say working traffic is like watching paint dry.
You know how to piss people off, Bukowski.
Hey, if they're prepared to gun down cops in broad daylight, McAfee really means business.
Seems like we're the only ones who want Bishop alive.
I have a good mind just to let him go work on the son of a bitch. I'm about done putting my life on the line to protect some child molester.
That's our job, unfortunately. They don't get to dole out the justice.
11K calling KGPL requesting assistance at 8th and Francisco, the abandoned movie set. My partner is pursuing suspect on foot. Code 3, KGPL.
Detectives. Johnny Goldberg. You work for Mickey C.
That's right, detectives.
You wouldn't happen to know the guys who roughed up Mrs. Bishop earlier today by any chance?
It's the husband we'd like to talk to.
You don't want to be taken in for obstruction of justice, do you, boys?
You could try the obstruction rap, but it won't stick. We could beat that.
You've had your 10 cents worth, gentlemen.
Bishop knows how the world works. Mrs. McAfee hits him up for a movie part. Happens every day. But Bishop takes it a step too far and tries to rub out Mrs. McAfee. Naturally, Guy is going to get upset.
What made you think Bishop would be here?
We figure he might be planning a little accident for Hopgood, too. Those two guys have got some unfinished business. You let us know if you find Bishop. Guy McAfee can be a very generous man.
I'm only going to warn you once, gentlemen, to stay out of this. This is a police matter. We will be bringing Mark Bishop into custody.
At least he's polite. Kind of dumb, but polite.
But I'm a lot less polite, you smug son of a bitch. So let me put it in ruder terms that even a pair of blockheads like you might understand. The only reason that you don't have bars on your windows already is because you're small fry. And we don't waste our time on small fry. You stay away from Bishop, and you stay away from me. Is that clear enough for you, asshole? Now run along back to your boss so we can pat you on the head and tell you what good boys you are.
Ha! Let's see him chase us now. Onto the movie set, Phelps. Let's roll. There's the slippery bastard now.
No. God damn it!
Get him, Phelps. I'll cover the exit. Mark Bishop, stop! LAPD! We're trying to help you, Bishop. It's us or McAfee's boys. Your choice. Bishop, that's enough. Don't make this any harder on yourself, Bishop.
I didn't do anything! This is all a big mistake! It's June Ballard! She's blackmailing me! That girl made it all up!
Hands in the air, Bishop! Move another inch and you're dead.
Mark Bishop, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of June Ballard and the rape and attempted murder of Jessica Hamilton.
All right, I'll come quietly. Just don't kill me. If you found me, then McAfee's goons will too. Oh, we need to get out of here.
All right, but you stay close. Any tricks, and I'll save McAfee's boys the trouble.
Follow me. I know another way out of this place. This way! Come on, let's keep moving. Let's go. Stay with me. Follow me. Come on. All right, let's go. Now. Shoot those sons of bitches. Keep them off me, for Christ's sake. Come on. Throw some lead at those bastards. Oh my God, they're everywhere. You have to get me out of here. This is insanity. For the love of God, how many are there? I don't want to die here. This is all Ballard's fault. There's an army of them. We're done for. I should have known that bitch was trouble.
I'll kill every last one of you if I have to. Last chance to back the hell down. McAfee doesn't make the rules. You hear me? LAPD, you're making a big mistake. Is this really the best McAfee's got?
Christ, detective, they're trying to kill me. It's this way. Kill them, for God's sake. I don't want to die.
There's no way out of here. I thought you said you knew where you were going.
We have to jump for it.
Find some cover.
Come on, it's this way. Those barrels at the base of the elephant column. They're full of gasoline. Shoot them, quickly. The statue there.
There's a ladder leading to the ground.
Get him over here. I'll cover you. Come on. The cavalry's here. Follow me. We need to get him to the car. Get him to the car. I can cover you from here. You're almost there. Come on, boys. Charge these fucks. Let them have it.
Bishop's hiding out on that creepy old movie set. We need to get there before the mob does. Bishop is lying low, Phelps. We need to go and get him, and we need to do it fast.
Now, this is what I call a result. Mark Bishop, erstwhile film producer, an all-around piece of shit, catches a fast ticket to Quentin for statch rape and attempted murder, so he gets to spend the next 15 years playing sissy instead of sticking it to little girls. That is justice with a capital J, Detective Phelps. You've developed such a reputation, I'm not going to be able to hold on to you any longer. You're getting promoted. Go on, get your new assignment. It was good working with you, son.
Phelps, Bukowski, this your work?
Can I help you, Detective?
Sorry, Cap. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, I'll bet you didn't. This is a traffic case. You need something?
I'm here to buy a drink for the 2 LAPD traffic cops who broke the back of Guy McAfee's private army. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Captain?
Go right ahead.
Get in. I'm buying. You'll like this place. A lot of movie people hang out here. Do you like jazz, Cole? The hopheads love it.
Sure, I guess.
Big bands and swing I can understand, but this bebop palaver? How are you supposed to dance to that? This is Phelps, Leroy. Be nice to him. You'll like this place. They treat you right.
Would you like a table, Roy?
What do you think we want to do? Stand at the bar like chumps?
I'll get a table ready for you then.
Don't look so happy to see me, Alphonse. I might get the wrong impression. Cole, this is Alphonse. He's a French Negro from Africa. Can you beat that?
The Congo.
A pleasure to meet you, Alphonse.
Is Elsa singing tonight?
Yes, she is. She has the next set.
Come on, Cole. You can meet Elsa while they're fixing us a table. You'll like her. She's something else.
Maybe another night, Roy. She's pretty beat up about something.
Get your hands off me. Don't ever tell me what to do or what not to do, Alphonse. You got a nice club here. Don't spoil it.
If you will follow me, detectives. Just through the door.
To me.
Of course I do, darling.
You have no idea. You said it was construction work.
It was an industrial accident, Elsa. How can I be held responsible?
Elsa, are you going on?
Louis, for God's sake, he was my best friend. The only man who ever loved me without putting his hands on me.
Hi, Elsa. Here's someone I'd like you to meet. Cole Phelps, war hero and crime fighter extraordinaire.
And why would I want to meet another fascist from the LAPD?
Sorry about this, Cole. What an evening I'm having. First a Negro puts his hands on me, and then this. Who do you think you're talking to, you German junkie whore? Don't you ever forget your place with me again. Do you hear me? Evening, Doc. How's business?
Sanguine. Louis, help me here. I'm gonna have to give her something before her performance.
Blow it off, Cole. These artsy-fartsy types always get a little flighty. Meet Dr. Harlan Fontaine, doctor to the stars. Mr. Fix-It to the mental wreckage of Hollywood. So what about that drink, boys?